Sorry.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So as you guys have messaged me that on Thursday you guys will be giving your test, what will I do is like, I'll forward you the test paper by Wednesday evening, possibly, right? Because I'm traveling on Wednesday evening. So I'll forward it to you then and there. So on Thursday, whenever you have the time, you can take the test as per your availability, right? I'll put all the instructions properly. Uh, but then too, if you have any doubt, just confirm it with me before you submit, right? And whatever the solutions you do on a piece of a paper or a copy, right? Just make sure that it's there, because if I need it, I can request you to resend it to me. Fine. Today we're gonna start with new topic, which is statistics, and I'll finish this topic tomorrow. Right. So 2 days we have to learn statistics. So what is data exactly? Why? What is data according to you? If I say data, what do you understand by the term data? Guys, speak quick.
Like some sort of information.
Okay. And what sort of data do you collect on the daily basis? Do we collect the data on the daily basis? Do we get the data on the daily basis?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So why is data needed? Why do we need data?
To analyze something that we require
To
for the
analyze
analysis purpose.
for the purpose, for the analysis. Okay. So you need data for analysis. Okay. Now,
Interpretation of something that we required or for conclusion.
okay. So now, right. So, okay. So now let's say you got the data that you needed. Okay. So my first question is, how would you get this data? Guys, quick. I don't have that much time to wait for. Ideally, this won't be asked in GRE, but again, just for the FYI, we need to discuss on this. How would you collect data? Guys, answer, how would you collect data? How would you get the data?
Like any sort of, sir, verbally or non-verbally.
Okay. So
By
verbally,
using primary or secondary things that we collected.
so primary and secondary are books, PDF. We are primaries are government sites and all those. Okay. Now you collected the data. Now what would you do? You will present the data, of course. How would you present the data? It could be table, it could be histograms, it could be a pie chart, so it can be a pie, it can be a bar graph, it could be a line graph. You're very much common with this because you have done in IELTS also, you have seen this. There are other presentations of the data as well. We have contours, we have heat map, heat map is very, very important to any industry, especially the medical industry, to quickly analyze the relationship between any two features maybe. So let's say there is a patient and someone is someone is diagnosing the diabetes maybe. So there are certain other factors like, sugar control, sugar level, BP level. Those are interlinked to it. So in the heat map generation, you can easily see it, right? So that is one thing. Then you could have a lot of, whisker plots, box plots. Box plots are generally seen for the outliers. And this is one of the most important thing in data industry, outliers. I'll talk about this outlier, right? So now you have presented the data. Now what? Now the calculation begins. Now the calculation begins. You will calculate a lot of things. So for GRE, this is where you start. This is what is there in GRE. Talking about me, like in a person, if I have to collect the data, these are not the only sources for us to collect this data. We collect it from APIs. We collect it from AWS, Amazon Web Sources, Google Cloud. We collect it for Heroku and MongoDB, of course, servers. So this is where I collect the data. The data are there in repositories, of course, online and offline, right? So, see, understand, if let's say if Nutan has to go somewhere for her, let's say, so she is on the top position of the company and she visits one of the, let's say, her own domain industry, her domain industry. Let's say if she's from medical, so she visits one of the hospital and she is actually dealing with a lot of other doctors to, help them out in certain reviews or like informations on the reports. Now, how would she collect the data? Like hospital cannot provide her all the data on the first day. So there has to be some sort of, data retrieval that she could perform. Now, these are the sources. But now what will happen after she have the data? Would you write all the data? Let's say if I give you 1000 customers, ratings on the credit card, let's say, which will have definitely lot of inputs into it. Understand the inputs into it, right? So their name, city, their salary, their payment, their long-term, their longevity. Is there any loan going on? How is their payment cycle? Are they defaulters? No, yes. What is their credit score? Did it jump? Did it fall? Whatever it is. Now, if I give you all those 1000 data list or 1000 customers, let's say there are 1000 customers, so there are 1000 rows, and along with that, if there are 12 columns, then automatically 12 into 1000 becomes 12,000 data, the values. Now, categorical data would also be there. Yes, no. Is it a defaulter? Yes. Is it not a defaulter? Yes. So yes, no is okay. Salaried person. So in salaried person, you cannot write 1, 2, 3, right? Salaried businessmen, freelancers, whatever it is. So in that case, what happens? It's not necessary that the whole data would have only data or the numbers. It will have some fields which will carry alphabets also, words also. So now understand, would you write that on the piece of a paper to do it? No. You have to do the calculation. Calculations are only the same. I mean, whatever is there for GRE, the calculations are like, again, mean, median, mode. You have to find the standard deviation and all those things. But again, the concern is, where would you start from? How would you know what to start from? So before that, you actually present the data. Okay. If the presentation has been known, then you would be able to do it. So if, let's say, if your friends or maybe like someone into your acquaintances or in your family are dealing with data analysis in this era, 2021, 2020, or let's say from last 3 years, ask them how do they do the data analysis on a particular thing. So now, histograms, bar charts, pie, they are out. I mean, we use them, but again, there is a survey, there is a report that is automatically generated by the Tableau software. Apart from Tableau, there is a Power BI which can generate the whole report properly. right? So like, on the business columns or on the economic columns of a newspaper or any website, if you try to go there, you would see the sales increasing, the profit decreasing, or profit maximizing, and all those things. Gold rate. So if you have to just follow gold rate, now understand gold rate, fine, gold rate for every day, every hour, it fluctuates. Currency conversion, $1 is 74.98 right now with the Indian currency, but that is not the case that 74.98 would be there for the whole day. It fluctuates. So that particular trend has to be followed through. So now you are actually presenting, then you start the calculation, right? For GRE, you start the calculation. So the most important thing for you guys to understand is how to calculate mean, how to calculate median, and how to calculate mode. So now what happens is we always deals with averages in math, okay? And actually we're not dealing with math here, we are dealing with statistics. It's a pure different branch. Math is involved, but it's a pure different branch. It's a huge, huge branch, to be honest, right? Now in averages, whenever we talk about averages, we have got mathematical average, okay? Then we have got a positional average, and then we have got the commercial averages. So in commercial averages, if you see, you get your tax, you get your VAT, you get your GST, all these things, which is not there in our course. You don't have to deal with this particular terms. For position average, you always have median and you always have mode. And for mathematical average, you always deal with mean, and which is further categorized into three more fact, which is arithmetic, geometric, and harmonic. So let's say if I ask you a very simple question, my first number is 2 and my second number is 4. So what would be my third number? What would be your answer in this fraction? What would be your answer?
6.
6. Why can't it be 8?
Because difference is 2, no?
No, so multiplication is also 2, no? 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So ideally what you learned here, that if you have just got, if I write 1 and 2, what would be the next number? 3, let's say, right? But why 3? Why can't it be 4? Why can't you multiply? So now unless you have the 3 items, you cannot know in the data set what pattern are they following. So this AM, GM, HM are more close to what? They are more close to know how the pattern is followed, right? Now okay, you don't have to make it any note of it. Just pay attention to this thing. So let's say I've got two numbers, A and B. Okay, now we have started. So far it was information based. I've got two numbers, A and B, and now I'll calculate the AM, GM, and HM for this. So we have started with AM or mean, right? Now what is mean and all? I'm going to talk about those things after this. So how do you calculate AM for this? So now see, mean says that you add up all the numbers, whatever is given to you. So sum of all the data, doesn't matter how many times you've got a 500 into it. It's okay. If you got 500 into it 5 times, you will add up all this. Divided by total number of the data. Total number of data. This is what your mean is. So let's say I have numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And someone is asking me to find the mean of it. So I'll add up all these numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. And then I'll divide it by total numbers available, which are 5. So in total, I'll get 15 over 5, and that is equals to 3. That's it. So 3 is my mean here, right? So AM for two numbers is simple. Just add them and divide it by 2. Why 2? Because there are two numbers. But if you have to find the geometric mean of it, right, then you have to take the square root of their product. And if you have to find a harmonic mean of it, then you have to directly apply this formula, which is 2AB over A plus B. Now, how this formula has come, 2AB over A plus B. Now, let's understand that thing very quickly. So let's say someone has asked me to calculate the harmonic mean of numbers. Over here, I'm taking them as a letter A and B. No problem. So my first step would be take their reciprocal. take the reciprocal of the numbers. So I'll do 1 over a and I'll do 1 over b. Now take their am. Take their what? Take their am. So what is am exactly? Am is sum all the numbers and divide by total numbers. So now you know how many numbers do you have? You have got two numbers, but one you have to still sum them up. So you will say 1 over a plus 1 over b. Now, when you're going to solve this, it will become 1 over a plus 1 over b would become like a plus b over ab, and this is 2. So I've told you in the last session, how do we solve this kind of thing? So I will write it as a plus b over ab over 2 over 1. So this is, I make it and then I reverse it. So this will become a plus b over ab times 1 over 2. So ultimately what I got here is a plus b over 2ab, right? And then third thing step is reciprocal again. Why reciprocal again? Because first we reciprocaled it. Okay, did we find for a or b? No, we found it for 1 over a and 1 over b, right? So whatever comes now, you have to again reciprocal it so that the result is for a and b. So now if you reciprocal this, you will get 2ab over a plus b, and that is what your result is, 2ab over a plus b, direct. So, you know, anytime if you have been asked a question, let's say, okay, let me ask you one simple question. Now, let's see if you have got that knowledge of harmonic mean or not. So let's say, right, from A to B, the speed was 10 miles per hour. And from B to A, so this is this side speed, and this side speed was 20 miles per hour. Can you tell me the average speed for this, please? What would be the average speed? Now you have given two speeds here. How would you find the average? What would be the answer for this?
15 miles per hour.
15 miles per hour. So am I
Yes.
right? You're doing it like 10 plus 20 divided by 2, which
Yes,
is
sir.
like 30 divided by 2, and that is 15 miles per hour,
Yes.
right? And this would be option also in your question set for sure. Like if it's numeric box, quantity comparison, it's okay. But if it's a PS question, option would be there, and this is wrong. Absolutely wrong. Because the logic says it would be, formula would be 2ab over a plus b, in which you're going to do 2 times 10 into 20 over 10 plus 20. So this would be 2 into 10 over 20. It would be very close to 15, but not 15. So let's say 2 times 15, 5 times 3, 5 times 4, 40 over 3 is 13.33 miles per hour. This is one of the trap question for GRE. I'm telling it to you. And not only for GRE, for other competitive exams as well. Because that is what I told. I could have asked this question right after explaining this, a plus b divided by 2. But why did I ask you this question after explaining the harmonic mean? Because it's very simple, that speed is what? Miles per hour. So speed itself doesn't has its own unit. It is dependent on distance over time. That is what our formula is. So this speed shares, is the distance between A and B same while going and coming back? Yes. So your distance is same. That means the speed is relating with time here. And if it is a in reciprocal relation, what average do you follow? You always follow harmonic mean, right? You don't have to remember all this. You just have to do one thing. If it's average speed, you need to solve it like this way, no problem. And I'm not yet taken your speed distance time, so you don't have too much worry about. I'll give you those particular concepts and rules there. But right now, why did I explain this all right now? And see, this is so scribble right now, right? I don't write like that way. But why am I, just scribbling it so much? Because I know that if someone could have asked why, I mean, like two values are given, why can't we add it and divide it by 2? Because it's a concept of a harmonic average. It's not a concept of like, what arithmetic average. Arithmetic averages have single entity. Harmonic averages have got more than one entity.
So you mean
Remember,
to say, like in any vector quantity, like whatever following vector quantity, we have to follow harmonic.
exactly. You're
Okay.
absolutely right in this. So let's say if I'm telling you, if I'm giving you two forces, right? So force equals to mass into
Mass into
acceleration.
acceleration.
But now here, if you see, force equals to mass into acceleration, mass of both the balls, let's say, is same. We have taken both balls, ball A and ball B, both are iron balls, mass is same. So F is directly proportional to A here, Anjali, right? So if F is directly proportional to A, so it's a pure arithmetic average. We don't have to find. If that relation comes, then we have to actually work around on what? The harmonic or the reciprocal averages. But there is a trap in the particular question, because they will always give you two entities, 10, 20. See, but there is a word given to you, speed. So that makes a huge difference, right? If I would have told you that, this particular, let's say this is 100 kilometer, 100 miles, and 10 hours have been taken for this, and this is also 100 miles and 20 hours are taken by this, what you would have done? What is the average speed in this? So Anjali, how would you have calculated? You would have said, sir, A to B speed, let's say, is SA. So I'll do 100 over 10 because this is his speed. And SB is from B to A. So I'll do like, sir, 100 over 20. Now I'll add up both. So it's like 100 over 10 plus 100 over 20. Okay. And now I'll divide it by 2. See, you already reciprocaled it. You're putting that into formula, but that is automatically reciprocal, right? So average is speed, but when they don't give you this things and they make a trap, miles per hour. So that one concept of yours, which is like vector quantity, is absolutely correct. And adding to the same, I would always say anything that has a derived unit. If you understand this derived unit thing, then it would be very easy for you. Anything that is derived, it doesn't has its own unit. Like length has its own unit, weight has its own, no, not weight, mass has its own unit, weight is mg, right?
Yes.
So acceleration, if I say what is the acceleration of a car or a bike, it says meter per second square. It's meter per second square. It's a derived unit. It's not a fundamental unit that we talk about. So in this factor, what happens is, like, if your distance become constant, on basis of what you're following for founding the average speed, your speed is equals to distance over time. And Anjali, when you brought that particular concept of vector, so let me be more specific, because this is a scalar.
Scalar.
For vector, it would be like your velocity equals to displacement over time. And
Yes,
there's
sir.
a huge difference between displacement and distance. So let's say you have running on a circular track, right? You start from A and you go, and you're going back to A, and let's say this is 100 meters. So let's say you start from A and then you have been to A again. And now if I ask you what is your distance, you will say, sir, I have run 100 meters. But if I say what is your displacement, you'll say 0,
0.
because you're on the same position.
Yes, sir.
Displacement word itself has that word,
Yes, sir.
displace. Let's say we have a wall everywhere, right, in the home. If you push the wall, will it move? No, but you're applying the force, right? You're applying the force, but it is not moving because it is not getting displaced from its position. So this is a major difference between scalar and vector, that they always have a direction. So let's say
Yes,
if
sir.
I'm saying that there is a car moving with a speed of 45 kmph, okay, no problem. But if I say there is a car moving with 45 kmph northeast, now I've converted this into vector quantity because I've given
Yes,
you the
sir.
directions as well, right? Again, I mean, like, this was just a basic, very, very basic things for the physics when we start learning physics, ideally. But now coming back to this, so whenever you have mean, you need to always see, they're gonna ask you sometimes direct, find the geometric mean, find the harmonic mean, right? So that is why I've told you that particular thing. Let's quickly talk about if there are three numbers. Then in that case, your AM would be addition of all the three numbers divided by 3. Simple, because there are three, sum has to be taken. How many numbers are there? 3. Now GM, it would be cube root of their product. Now see, this is why in every session of mine, I always take 2 numbers and 3 numbers, because for 2 numbers is square root. When we do the square root, we don't write that 2. So that could give a wrong understanding that it is always a square root of the product. No, जितने भी नंबर होंगे उन सबका प्रोडक्ट लोगे और उतना ही आपको रूट लेना है. सो इफ देयर आर n numbers, you're gonna write the nth root of a1 into a2 into up to so on till an. Simple, right? And hm would be, so hm में ये हो जाएगा 3abc over ab plus bc plus ca. So it's not like abc, because आप जब इसको करोगे, ये सॉल्व करोगे तो ये आता है, राइट? सो दिस आर द टू डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूलाज व्हिच यू कुड डू. लेट्स से आपको ये बोल दिया कि सर 1 2 3 और 4 इसका आपको एचएम निकालना है. आप फिर भी एक बार इसको रेसिप्रोकल ट्राई करके निकाल सकते हो. लेकिन इसको अगर मैंने बढ़ा दिया, इतने बड़ा कर दिया लेट्स से, तो आप क्या करो, तो अब इस केस में क्या करो, ये दो डेटा पे 2ab ओवर a प्लस बी कर लो, तो एक नई वैल्यू आएगी, बोलो n1. इन दो डेटा पे 2ab ओवर a प्लस बी कर दो, तो एक ही नई वैल्यू आ जाएगी n2. ये भी दो वैल्यूज है, इसका भी आपको निकालना है 2ab ओवर a प्लस बी. अब ये डिपेंड करता है किसको कौन सा चीज लेंदी जाएगा या शॉर्टकट जाएगा ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द मेंटल कैलकुलेशंस दैट यू डू, राइट? Now pay attention to one most important part. Today I may not able to do questions because there are a lot of things that I have to you guys to understand. So now pay attention to this part. Let's say I give you data which has this numbers, and then I told you increase every number by, let's say 1. You're gonna do +1 to every single number, +1 +1 +1 +1 and +1, and you're gonna say, sir, it would be 2 3 4 5 and 6. Now before that I just asked you to find the mean of it. So you say, so mean here is nothing, I'll add up all the numbers, like which is 15 divided by 5, and I'll get it as 3. And now I'm asking you that after the change, this is the change that you have made, right? This is the change. And I would always name it as a common change, because common change means every number has experienced the same kind of change, which is like increase every number by 1. It's not that first two are increase and the last two are decrease. If you increase the first two number by 1 and decrease the last two number by 1, your mean would remain same in this case. Okay, now in this case, now why, I'll talk that into next 5 minutes. Now coming back to this common change, if you're making here to everything, now what I asked, after making a change, of course you got a new data set, you will say, yes sir, we got the new numbers. I'll ask you that please find the mean for the new data set. So you will say, okay, so new mean is nothing, we will add up all the numbers here, 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 6. We'll get 20. We'll divide it by 5, sir, because still we have 5 numbers, and we'll get new mean as 4. Okay, now see the relation here on the arrow which I have formed. You already had a mean, previous mean, or let's say old mean. You already had an old mean here, which is 3, right? I told you that there is a change happening, and you, after reading it properly, comprehended it accurately, that that particular change is common change. That means it has happened in every number, which is like increase by 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to apply this particular change to your old mean also. So you could have easily increased your old mean by applying the same change, which is +1 to get 4. Simple. Now, the biggest concern of this particular concept or a shortcut is why. Why we can directly do this, where we will get to know how we would understand that we could do this. When I have a data, why can't I add it up and divide it? One common logic could be, what if the number becomes bigger, right? But that logic is very much insensible to me, because it's been increased in something. So your sum would always be there, right? Now the concern is the question will not give you the data. I have told you, I've given you the data to actually make you, feel that or experience that average also, inhibits or exhibits or experiences the same change. Whatever change you're going to make in every data, mean also, the old mean also has experienced the same change. That's why I took the data to make you guys, experience it. But the question would be like the average of 15 numbers, let's say, is 10, and each number, let's say each number is multiplied by 5. Find the new average. Now see, in this particular case, what happens, let's say I'm a very much a beginner. So I'll say, okay, I have to find the new average. I'll quickly write average is equals to sum over total. Okay, done. Now I have to find the sum. Okay, fine. Total is given. Total is like how many numbers are there? So average of 15 numbers. So total numbers are 15. Okay. But now the concern is, how will I find the sum? Because I don't know this 15 numbers, right? I don't know this 15 numbers. Then too, just for the sake of your rearrangement, what you did from here, you say that the sum can be written as average into total. I'll say, okay, absolutely correct. No problem. Then you will say, sir, average was 10. I'll say yes. And total was 15. So sum should be 150. I'll say yes, no problem. 150 is the sum. Then I'll say multiply each number by 5. Where are the numbers that you're going to multiply to form a new set? See, multiplication of 5 by a number is not difficult, but where are those numbers? And now how could you be so sure of those particular numbers that you're going to form here that will give you a sum of 150? Can you find those 15 numbers in this world whose sum would be 150? Of course, yes. But are you sure the numbers would be same for 3 of you? Not necessary. What if, like, Anjali has not taken any negative numbers? What if this, right? And what if I take sum of all, I take all negative numbers and then I take one bigger positive numbers. समझो उस बात को. Let's say मैंने 14 numbers ऐसे लिए जो सारे नेगेटिव थे, तो ऑफ कोर्स उनका सम क्या होता जाएगा? नेगेटिव होता जाएगा. सपोज करो उनका सम हो गया -100 तक, ठीक. तो अब मुझे एक नंबर और लेना है, तो मैं 15th वाला जो नंबर लूंगा वो मैं कितना ले लूंगा? 250. क्यों? क्योंकि जब मैं ये पूरे 15 नंबर्स को, मतलब 14 नंबर्स का सम तो -100 आ गया, और 15th वाला जो नंबर है जब इसमें वापस ऐड करूंगा तो भी मुझे 150 आ गया. तो अब आप समझ जाओ कि वो कितने नंबर्स के पॉसिबल सेट्स आप बना सकते हो, राइट? और उसके बाद आपको ये भी मेक श्योर करना है 150 का सम चाहिए, या आप ये भी मेक श्योर कर रहे हो कि 10 का एवरेज होना चाहिए, और फिर इन नंबर्स पे आप 5 को इतने में तो GRE खत्म हो जाएगा उस दिन का पेपर, राइट? सो इन दिस केस व्हाट यू गोना डू, यू विल से, सर सी, ओल्ड एवरेज इज वेरी सिंपल. ओल्ड एवरेज इज 10. There is a common change that I have accurately understood. There is a common change happening. With the change is multiply by 5. So what I'll do is, in the new average, I'll apply this change here also. So my old average will experience the same change, which is this. So my new average would be 50. That's it. एक line में question खत्म. That's it. And this is a very common question, because if someone would understand this, right, then only they would do it. Otherwise, I'm telling it to you, I've seen people forming data. Right? And it's very difficult to get hold of it. अब एक और चीज है, आप तीनों कोई सा भी डेटा सेट वैल्यू लो, तीनों का अलग अलग वैल्यूज ले लो जिनका सम 150 है. You make sure you're taking 15 numbers, you make sure their average is 10, or the sum is 150. If you multiply it by 5, आप तीनों का डेटा कुछ भी हो उसका एवरेज 50 ही आएगा, बिकॉज आपने ये दो कंडीशंस को सेटिस्फाई रखा है, 15 नंबर्स और एवरेज इज 10. सो दैट अगेन द कंसर्न इज देयर आर n numbers of possible combinations that you could think of, right? Now let's move to something very interesting. Median, one of the most favorite topic of GRE exams. Median. Why? What is this median? We say it's a positional average. No problem. Now always remember, in median, जब भी कोई डेटा दिया होगा उसको सबसे पहले असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में ही प्लेस करना है, बिकॉज ये पोजीशन बताता है. ये पोजीशनल एवरेज है, ये पोजीशन बताता है. तो अगर आपने डेटा को अरेंज नहीं किया तो आपको भी पता है कि पोजीशन क्या होगा, वहां पे फॉल्टर हो जाएगा. सो लेट्स से हमको नंबर दिए थे 74298, मैंने इसको अरेंज नहीं किया तो मैं बोलूंगा मीडियन ये होगा. तो मीडियन का मतलब कुछ नहीं होता, इट्स अ सेंट्रल वैल्यू. ओके, इट्स अ सेंट्रल वैल्यू. अब आप जब आपके कॉन्सेप्ट बुक पे जाओगे, वार्सिटी ट्यूटर्स या किसी की भी, तो आपको वहां पे ऐसे फॉर्मूले मिलेंगे कि लाइक इफ n इज ऑड, मतलब टोटल ऑड नंबर्स के डेट, देखो ऑड नंबर्स नहीं है, ऑड नंबर्स नहीं है, numbers कोई भी हो. So let's say the face value of those numbers could be anything, लेकिन वो टोटल काउंट होने के बाद लेट्स से 11 आए, 13 आए, 9 आए, 27 आए, मतलब ऑड आ रहे हैं, तो उस केस में आप कैसे निकालते हो मीडियन? n+1/2th टर्म करके. मतलब n का वैल्यू जैसे 11 था तो 11+1/2th टर्म किया, उसके बाद में आपने इसको 12/2th करके आपने बोला जो 6th टर्म है, 6 is not the median. What if I tell you that the numbers are like 100 to 111? 6 थोड़ी हो जाएगा उसमें, 6 तो है ही नहीं ना, राइट? तो अब उस केस में क्या होता है कि आप 6th टर्म पे, 6th पोजीशन पे जाके देखोगे कि क्या है वैल्यू. तो 6th पोजीशन पे जाके अगर आपको देखना, और अगर आपने ऑर्डर ही अरेंज नहीं किया इस तरीके से जैसे ये हम कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ये वाला क्वेश्चन, राइट? तो इसमें ऑर्डर, तो यहाँ तो आप बोलोगे सर 2 is the median, which is absolutely wrong because आपको इसको अरेंज करना था. So the concern was very simple. It should have been 2, 4, 7, 8 and 9. So 7 is the median. 7 is the median here. Very simple thing. Does this make sense to you? Now let's say if there are, I'll give you 2 examples and how do I calculate the medians quickly. Okay, I don't fall for, लेट्स से 11 नंबर्स है, आप दोनों साइड से एक एक नंबर कैंसिल करना चालू कर, दोनों साइड से एक एक नंबर कैंसिल करना चालू कर, जो बचेगा दैट वुड बी अ मीडियन. ठीक, तो ये तो हो गया सर, अगर वहां पे 11 नंबर्स है तो ठीक है, राइट? अगर मैं आपको बोलूं 51, तो आपको भी पता है सर 25 इधर रह जाएंगे, 25 इधर रह जाएंगे, तो 26 वाला जो नंबर है वो मीडियन है. आप मेंटल कैलकुलेशन ही कर लोगे. But what if there were only 10 numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 और 10 numbers ही थे. तो अब ये वो even वाली बात हो रही है यहाँ पे, right? So इस केस में you don't have to worry about, do the same thing. Cancel out दोनों साइड से. Now hold. Now if you cancel 5, you cannot just leave 6. You have to cancel it. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna find the middle point of these two numbers. Or we could say you're gonna find the average of these two numbers. Average is nothing, it's a middle point. Middle point is nothing, it's a midterm. So what is the middle point of it? 5.5. So 5.5 is the median. So sometimes you would see the median itself in the data series. Sometimes you will not see the median in the data series itself. So don't panic. Same happens for mean. Mean never says that it has to be present in the data. Okay. Mean is not necessarily to be present in the data. It may not be there for sure, right? Now let's understand one more most important concept. Let's say I have written this numbers 2, 5, 10, and I'm taking 3 also here. Okay. So 2, 3, 5, 10. We have to find the mean. So first we will find mean. So I'll add up these numbers. And how many numbers are there? I've got 4. So I'll add up this. This will become 20. This is 4 and this is 5. So 5 is my mean. But at the same time, someone has asked me to calculate the median also for this. So what I'll do is I'll quickly make sure that this data is arranged. Ideally, the data was already arranged in the ascending order. It start canceling out. So now I'll find the middle value of this 2. That would be 4. So 4 is the median. So 5 is mean, right? And 4 is the median. No problem. बहुत basic था. सबको आता है ये. कोई problem नहीं है इसमें. अब सबसे important चीज एक और देखते हैं. यहीं पे. Okay. Let's say I've changed the data set for you. I'm taking this data set again. Okay. I'll ask you to find the mean. आप क्विकली इसको वही एडअप करा आपने, 15 आया, 5 से डिवाइड किया, 3 आ गया, मीन रेडी है। अब मैंने आपको बोला प्लीज मीडियन भी निकालो, तो आपने बोला सर विद इन 10 seconds विल फाइंड आउट, एंड यू से सर 3। ये क्या हो गया अब यहाँ पे, यहाँ मीन और मीडियन इक्वल हो गए, यहाँ मीन और मीडियन इक्वल नहीं है, तो क्या होगा ऐसा, मतलब यहाँ पे तो अगर मैं मीडियन का ही लॉजिक लगाता तो वो तो मीन भी हो सकता था, राइट, कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं होता। अब अगर मान लो मैंने 15/5 करके 3 बोला इस डेटा सेट पे कि मीन इज 3, आप लोगों ने मीडियन निकाल के 3 बोला, मीडियन निकाल लिया जो कि 3 था, और आपने बोला सर मीन इज 3, आंसर तो दोनों के सेम है, and that is absolutely correct. There is no at all wrong concept used. So understand one thing very clearly. If there happens to be consecutive integers, okay, there happens to be consecutive integers, your mean would be always equals to your median. ये लॉजिक बेटा हमेशा याद रखना। एंड व्हेन वी से कॉन्जिक्यूटिव, जरूरी नहीं है ये ही कॉन्जिक्यूटिव्स हो, कॉन्जिक्यूटिव्स ये भी होते हैं, ठीक है, कॉन्जिक्यूटिव्स ये भी होते हैं, कॉन्जिक्यूटिव्स 2 4 6 से 10 भी होता है, और कॉन्जिक्यूटिव 1 3 5 7 9 भी होता है। सो बिकॉज इंटीजर्स में नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव आ सकता है, और कॉन्जिक्यूटिव का मतलब होता है कि गैपिंग सेम। कॉन्जिक्यूटिव बेटा ये भी हो सकता है, याद रखना, कॉन्जिक्यूटिव ये भी होगा। आप फाइंड करके देखो इसका मीन क्या होगा, आप मीन के लिए फटाफट इसको कैलकुलेट करो। 60 would be the total, 60 divided by 3 that is equals to 20. What would be the median? ये cancel 20 see, because gapping between the numbers is same. If that happens, your median and your mean would always be same, always be same. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you guys? इस चीज को याद रखो,
Yes, sir.
राइट, ये चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और ये इंटीजर्स में भी पूछा जाता है। तो वो क्या करते हैं, इंटीजर्स के सेक्शन में क्यूसी में आपको बोलते हैं कि फाइंड द मीन और मीडियन, ऐसा ऐसा ऐसा, और आपको वहां पे कंडीशन दिया रहता है कि द पर्टिकुलर गिवन डेटा सेट और द नंबर्स आर कॉन्सिक्यूटिव। सो इफ यू हैव रिमेंबर्ड इट, in one of our section when we were doing the number property and this question came in, I told you that I'm solving it for you, but you will better understand the consecutivity property between median and mean when we do the statistics. So if you could recall, that's okay, otherwise that also okay, but this is one property that is very useful. Now let's say there is this particular lane which is prime location in a township, okay, and now it has got 1 2 3 4, right, so it has got like 1, it has got second house here, third house here, fourth, and this is the fifth house which Anjali wants to buy. Now average pricing here right now is what? Average pricing for this particular house are, let's say, in the range of 25 to 50 lakhs. But now this particular house, Anjali needs it, the fifth house, or let's say she is building her own house. Let's talk in this manner. So this house were all built. So land was, taken, whatever the thing is, I'm not sure about it because I have nothing to do with this 5 houses. But yes, so the range was 25 to 50 lakhs. Now, after buying the land and getting a good building up, so it's a multi-story with pool and everything and good decorations, interior, exterior, whatever she thought to have it into her home, right? She has it for her. And now this particular, so now see this, let's say I give a particular range 25 to 50, so I'm taking it as 30 lakhs. Okay, so now see, this is 30 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 30 lakhs and 30 lakhs. We can still think of, अब इस पे एक चीज पे ये देखो, डेटा कितनी जल्दी राउंड अबाउट हो जाता है, ठीक है, ये 30 है, लेट्स से ये 25 होता और ये 35 हो जाता, लेट्स से ये 32 होता और ये 28 हो जाता, पॉसिबल है, राइट. सो कंसर्न ये है कि सम अभी भी सबका सेम रहेगा, राइट. सो डेटा कैन प्ले अराउंड any moment of time. I'm telling it to you, right? So now what Anjali did here, after whole preparation of the house and everything was done, and after puja and everything was done, she sat with her accountant to just check out the whole expenses. अकाउंटेंट के लिए भी पॉसिबल नहीं था क्योंकि मैडम ने इतना खर्चा किया है तो फिर एक दिन तो लगेगा. So next day she the accountant tells her, ma'am, overall expenditure for your house has come around 10 crores, right? And now this is a peanut for her. 10 crores for her is like, हाँ ठीक है होगा, कोई टेंशन नहीं. But now understand what she did exactly. अब यहाँ पे जो 6th हाउस ये प्राइम लोकेशन है, राइट? अब यहाँ पे जो घर बनेंगे ना, ऑब्वियसली ये फैक्ट है कि यहाँ पे जो घर बनेंगे वो इंसान अपने हिसाब से बनाएगा, उसकी पॉकेट अफोर्डेबिलिटी से बनाएगा, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट नाउ व्हाट अंजलि's 10 crore house has done, it has actually impacted the whole average value of houses in this row. This 10 crore, understand, अभी कितना सम आ रहा था अगर देखा जाए, ये 30 था, मतलब 30 लाख ही एवरेज, ठीक है, 30 लाख ही एवरेज था. अगर सारे नंबर्स वही है तो बेटा एवरेज भी वही होगा, ठीक है. तो 30 लाख एवरेज था, तो अगर 5th हाउस किसी को अगर बनाना है तो वो अगर जाएगा, तो लेट्स से आई एम अ पर्सन, इफ आई हैव 30 lakh rupees in my pocket, I'll go in that particular prime location to check out the land and everything, because I know on an average उस एरिया में कितने उसमें घर बनता है, 30 लाख. बट अब अंजलि मैम ने जब 10 करोड़ का घर बना लिया है वहां पे, तो आप ये समझो कि 10 crore and 30 lakhs को अगर आप 5 से डिवाइड करोगे, this would go to 2 crores and 6 lakh rupees on an average. मतलब अब आपका एवरेज देखो, जो 30 लाख था वो 2 करोड़ 6 लाख रुपए हो गया. उस केस में अगर मुझे वहां जाना है तो मैं तो जाऊंगा ही, क्योंकि मेरे पास तो 30 लाख रुपए ही है ना, मैं 2 करोड़ रुपए कहाँ से लाऊंगा? जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ अंजलि, I mean, in this example, just because of Anjali, this has happened. This is called as outlier. This is called as outlier. I'll give you a better example and a most realistic example. Let's say जो salary होता है उसका curve हम ऐसे बनाते हैं. क्यों? Understand, ये एक ऐसे segments बनाए हमने, right? ये वाला जो सेगमेंट है ना, इसमें मैक्सिमम लोग फॉल करते हैं, मैक्सिमम. और लेट्स से हम दुनिया का पूरा सैलरी का बना रहे हैं, राइट, पर मंथ की, तो यहाँ पे मैक्सिमम जंक्स ऑफ पीपल आएंगे. पीपल लाइक मी, people like you, we all will fall on this particular curve, right? CEOs and all those things, I mean, like for the small businesses or running businesses, the CEOs or the top managers or the board of directors gonna fall on this. And daily wages people gonna fall on this side, daily wages. So इनसे हमारी ज्यादा और इनकी इससे ज्यादा है. But कुछ लोग हैं, राइट, कुछ लोग अभी भी हैं जिनकी सैलरी इतनी है कि आई मीन ये 3 जनों की सैलरी आप पूरा 1 महीने का मिला लो, एंड अलोंग विद दैट टेक दिस जेंटलमैन आल्सो, राइट, एंड देन फाइंड द एवरेज. दे विल बी कॉल्ड एज आउटलायर. इनका मैचअप ही नहीं है, इनको मैचअप ही नहीं कर सकते. आप ये पूरा मिला लो और इनको ले लो तो भी it has been Wild said that he earns 75% more than what the world earns. Concern is this. So this is called as skewness. आपका डेटा बिगड़ गया, यहाँ पे आउटलायर आ गया है, राइट? तो अब केस ये होता है, अब ये आउटलायर का क्यों जरूरी है बताना. तो देखो समझो, लेट्स से आपने डेटा लिया, अब देखो इसका ये वाला डेटा लो, 1 2 3 4 5. आई टोल्ड यू मीडियन निकालो, आपने बोला सर 3, ठीक है. मैंने आपको बोला जो लास्ट वाली वैल्यू है, सारी वैल्यूज को सेम रहने देना, 1 2 3 4 5, लेकिन लास्ट वाली वैल्यू को 50 कर दो. आपने कर दिया, ये 5 से 50 कर दिया. आपका मीडियन चेंज हुआ? आपका मीडियन चेंज हुआ? नहीं. तो आपको क्या फर्क पड़ता है, ये आपकी जो ये वैल्यूज हैं, जो आउटलायर यहाँ पे आ गया, ये वैल्यूज से आपको क्या फर्क पड़ गया? आपका कोई मीडियन ही चेंज नहीं हुआ. तो अब देखो, अगर आपने हर वैल्यू को 1 से बढ़ाया होता, ईच वैल्यू को, तो मीडियन भी चेंज होता. लेकिन अगर आपने आउटलायर बढ़ाया तो मीडियन चेंज नहीं होगा, क्योंकि आउटलायर से तो मीडियन पे फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है ना. आप यहाँ पे मीन निकालोगे वो चेंज हो जाएगा, बिकॉज अब आपको 1 + 2 + 3 + 4 + 5 नहीं 50 करना है। यहाँ आपका मीन जो आ रहा था दैट वाज 3 because you were adding it up and dividing by 5. Now the number has changed to 50, which is like 4 + 3 7 + 2 7 + 2 is 9 + 1 is 10, 50 plus this is 60 and that is equals to 12. आपका पूरा मीन चेंज हो गया, राइट? एंड मीन अब कहाँ लाई कर रहा है, तो अब इस डेटा को अगर आप ड्रॉ करोगे, राइट, तो ये वाला जो आपका कर्व आएगा, दिस इज योर मीडियन कर्व, ओके, दिस इज योर मीडियन कर्व व्हिच इज टेलिंग यू 3 हियर, ओके, दिस इज 3, और आप मीन लेके जाओगे तो ये कर्व आपका ऐसा आएगा, यूं हो जाएगा। ये रेड वाला आपका मीन कर्व है बिकॉज दैट इज नाउ 12, आपका मीन यहाँ पे गिर रहा है। और पहले जो कर्व आया था जिसमें आपका डेटा 1 2 3 4 5 एक साथ था, उसमें ये मीन था और यही मीडियन था, यहीं पे दोनों चीजें सेम हो गई थी, मीन मीडियन यहीं पे सेम हो गया था। सो सी दिस ब्लू एंड रेड, मीडियन आगे है मीन पीछे है, राइट? ये सारी चीजें डेटा एक्सप्लोरेशन में आती है, राइट? एंड दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज स्टैटिस्टिक्स में जीआरई में कभी कभी कॉन्सेप्चुअल स्टेटमेंट के क्वेश्चंस आ जाते हैं। And why am I telling you this particular case? Calculation ka part is done. That is not a big deal. The most important thing right now is data interpretation. I mean, like graphical representation, because tomorrow I have to take your standard deviation and normal distribution and range, of course. Range I can take today also if the time permits. Time will permit, of course. So, you know, but these two are very confusing and difficult to understand, right? So now let's talk quickly about one more thing which is called as mode. Okay, so now mode, what happens, anything that has a highest frequency, right? Or let's say in the layman language, most repeated item, most repeated item or data is called as is mode. So now let me put, now one question is easy, 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 5. What is the mode here? You will say, so 5 is the mode, it is coming 3 times. I'm not gonna give you such kind of easy question. I myself can do this. I'll give you a question like, so there is this particular set A, and in this, these are the numbers given to you. 1 1 2 2 3 3 3 4 5, and there is this particular value X, right? And I'll say that the mode of set A is 20. Oh, sorry, 2. Then find the value of X, or what is the value of X? Of course, the options would be 1 2 3 4 and 5. So now see how you're going to solve this. So what first thing is, what are you dealing with in this particular question? Data to sab dur hoga beta. What are you dealing with? You're dealing with mode. So once you say mode to yourself, your mind says, okay, Nutan, you need to know mode. Okay, fine. This is what the mode is, repeated item. And it's not repeated, but it has to be most repeated. It's not more, I'm using the most repeated. Fine. You'll go back to the data and you will see 4 and 5 are not at all repeated because 1, 2 and 3 are more. So 4 and 5 are any which ways out of the option. So this is out. Now you have got 1. Okay, you have got 1 2 times. You got 2 2 times. And you've got 3 2 times. So there is a draw here. So now, first of all, just listen to one thing, something which is very much not applied in this question, just for the concept. Okay. Can there be a possibility that within the data I've got more than one mode? That means, can there be possibility that in the particular data I have got more than one values which are repeated in the same manner or same number of frequency? Of course, yes. Mean, you know, whenever we talk about binomial distributions, it's, you know, it's a bimodal. So there is always a concept of a unimodal and a bimodal. Okay, so if that is where it happens that, you know, if there are 2 numbers or 3 numbers and their frequency is same, but you need to find a unique mode for that particular question, you do interpolation, which is done into MSc statistics, or when you do high level statistics or masters in stats, right? so you don't have to worry about it. But now the only concern is like, I never wanted you to leave with one half thought that mode हमेशा एक ही होता है. No. So इस केस में इसको ध्यान रखना, मोड एक से ज्यादा भी हो सकता है. जीआरई में हालांकि ऐसा क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा जिसमें एक से ज्यादा मोड हो. Now how to calculate this? See, क्वेश्चन ने पहले ही बोल दिया कि मोड 2 है. They're not asking you to find the mode of it, but rather they have told you that mode is 2, which implies that this particular 2 should be repeated the most, right? Now, to make it the most, this x should be 2, so that जब इस डेटा में x की जगह हम यहाँ पे 2 रखेंगे तो मेरे कितने 2s हो जाएंगे? It would be 3 times, and then you will say that the value of x would be 2. Statistics पे calculation based questions are okay. Concept based questions are tricky, and they love to give you concept based questions. I'm telling it to you. They love to ask you questions like set A has got elements like 1, 4, 7, 9, and x, and this median is x. So what could be the possible values of it? And then they'll give you this options 1, 2, 3, and they'll say 2 could be the median, 5 could be the median, 10 could be the median. So अब आप इसको कैसे सॉल्व करोगे? तो आप यही बोलोगे कि देखो सबसे पहले यहाँ पे कितने आइटम्स हैं? 1, 4, 7, 9x, 5 आइटम्स हैं. अगर आपके पास में 5 डेटा है तो आपको पता है अगर आपके पास में 5 डेटा होता है तो ये दोनों हटाओ, ये जो सेंटर वैल्यू ये आपका मीडियन बनेगा. तो आपको बस अब ये देखना है कि क्या ये x सेंटर वैल्यू बन सकता है. तो अब आप यहाँ पे ये बोलोगे कि चलो माना x2 है. अगर x2 हुआ यहाँ पे तो आप डेटा ऐसे अरेंज कर दोगे 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, मतलब 4 मीडियन बनेगा. 2 को मीडियन कैसे बनाओगे? 2 तो खुद ही 4 से छोटा है ना, तो 2 तो मीडियन बन ही नहीं सकता. 5, क्या 5 मीडियन बन सकता है? ऑफ कोर्स, बिकॉज आप 1, 4, 5 को यहाँ लिखोगे, 7 और 9 5 सेंटर पे आ जाएगा तो ये मीडियन बन सकता है. क्या 10 मीडियन बनेगा? इम्पॉसिबल है, बिकॉज 10 इज द हाईएस्ट, राइट? It's not an outlier. It's not an outlier because 9 is very close to it. Outlier is like, a like this values are way different than, way higher than the other values, or way lower than the other values, right? And for that we always have this box plot calculation. ऐसे हम diagram बनाते हैं. तो आउटलायर्स जो होते हैं ना वो इस लाइन पे बहुत दूर होते हैं. बाकी जो मोस्ट वैल्यूज होती हैं वो यही होती हैं, राइट? यहाँ पे कहीं. लेकिन आउटलायर्स यहाँ पे हमको ऐसे, जैसे आपका पिक्चर का आपने सेट करके रखा है उसके हिसाब से लेट्स से स्टार ऐसे दिखने लगते हैं. That's a pictorial representation, but in the question set in like this, you will understand. So you have to put that particular x. Can this x particularly go below 1? Can it be 1 also? Now I've given you the options and then I'm asking you, what if I ask you what this x could be? Then in that particular case, if I ask you what this x could be, right? Median is x, but what this x could be? So now you could say, let's say median is not x, okay? What this x could be, and then we will find the median. So you can say, sir, if x is 1, let's say, so I'll take it that what if x is less than 1, okay? देखो number of items 1, 4, 7, 9, x, ये 5 है. तो सेंटर वैल्यू आपकी वही होगी, थर्ड वाली जो वैल्यू बनेगी वही आपका मीडियन बनेगा, बिकॉज दिस इज पोजिशनल एवरेज. बट इफ दिस एक्स इज लेसर देन 1 तो मीडियन आपका 4 पे खिसक जाएगा, राइट? x 1, 4, 7, 9. So can 4 be the median? Yes, 4 can be the median if x is less than 1, and or if it is equal to 1 also, then also 4 would be the median because it's a center value. Okay, what else? What if x is between 1 and 4? Hardly matters. 4 would still be the median because 4 is on the third position. तो अब आप उसको 1 और 4 के बीच में रखो, 1 के पहले रखो, फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. हाँ, अगर 4 बना दिया उसको तो भी 4 मीडियन होगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. 4 से आगे जाओ तो मीडियन चेंज हो जाएगा. दैट x would be median, but डिपेंड करता है, it should be between this, right? It should be between this. तो अब देखो पहला केस ये था कि if you're making less than 1, then you're getting 4 as a median. Somewhere between 1 to 4 is a median, no problem. Median is not changing. Done. If you're keeping between 4 and 7, then that particular x value would be median. It can maximum be 7, no problem. But if you're increasing it by 7, if you're still increasing it by 7, your 7 would be median. And now it doesn't matter, you make it 100 or 1000 or millions or billions, your 7 remains. तो आपको ये question, why am I discussing this? Because you should know where can I put that particular x. And this is why I told you the outlier concept before solving this, because अब ये है कि अगर आपने x की वैल्यू को, let's say हम उसको इस तरह से लेते हैं, हमने x की वैल्यू को 8 लिया, एक बार हम 85 लेंगे और एक बार हम 85,000 लेते हैं, राइट? सो इस केस में क्या है, हमारे पास जो डेटा है दैट इज 1479 और x अरेंज करते हैं तो वी विल गेट इट एज लाइक 14789, x यहाँ है, बट व्हाट इज द मीडियन? 7, क्योंकि थर्ड पोजीशन पे जो नंबर आएगा। अब इस पे क्या होगा? 147,985, व्हाट इज द मीडियन? 7. What is 85,000? 147,985,000, because we have to arrange it in ascending order. 7. So how does it matter whatever value you take more than 7? आप कुछ भी ले लो, that 7 would be the median, no problem at all. So now you know that how should I place it? एक बहुत पहले, एक कहीं बीच में और एक afterwards, and these are the 3 proper placing that I can think about to find the median in that particular question, right? Last thing that we're going to do today is range, which is very simple. No, but before range, I had to do one important concept of weighted average. Now understand ये concept क्या होता है, weighted average, right? This is very common term, weighted average, but they will not ask you to find the weighted average. You have to understand. अब ये कहाँ आता है? When your big blocks are broken into 2, 3, 4 smaller blocks, then you will always find the weighted average. Now, what are these blocks exactly? Sir, आप बहुत confused कर रहे हो. Understand. Let's say आपने एक particular, I tell you what all blocks can be there, right? So let's say there is a company, okay? Now this particular company has got females and male employees. ये बन गए blocks. ये बन गए blocks. Let's say there is a class में आपके पास में boys और girls हैं, ये बन गए आपके. Let's say there is a boat में आपके पास में childrens हैं, men हैं और women's हैं, right? Childrens में आपके पास में boy है, girl है और girl है. So ये let's say I can write it like this also. ये decision tree easy हो जाएगा. Let's say I write kids. So this is kids, right? And this is adults. And in adults also I'm writing male and female. These are the blocks. So now what happens in this particular question? देखो हमेशा ध्यान रखना. Average is equals to sum over total. Now this is the short form you're gonna use. But 90% of time you're gonna use the formula called sum is equals to average times total, जो यहीं से बना है, okay? Because they're gonna give you average and total, and you have to use the sum part. Secondly, उनका question में हमेशा वो statement ऐसा ही आता है, average of 10 numbers is 50. I've seen test taker or student getting confused in here also. वो average को total और total को बेटा समझो, वो जानबूझ के देते हैं. वो ऐसा भी बोल सकते थे there are 20 numbers and their averages. तो फिर वो comprehension कहाँ हुआ? तो वो हमेशा यही करेंगे, average किसका? 10 numbers का. is किसको modify कर रहा है? Average को, right? So this comprehension has to be very intact. So now what they're gonna ask you, what is the average of company? Okay, अब आप बोलोगे सर एवरेज ऑफ कंपनी तो डिपेंड करेगा सम और टोटल पे. सही है, बट यहाँ तो सम डिपेंड करेगा इन दोनों पे, सिंगल सम तो है नहीं ना. तो आप यहाँ पे आपके पास में ये लोग एवरेज देंगे और टोटल देंगे, यहाँ इसका एवरेज देंगे और टोटल देंगे, और फिर हमको पूरा डिटेल में इसको कैलकुलेट करना होता है. दैट इज व्हाट द कंसर्न ऑफ वेटेड एवरेज इज. सिंपल. Now let's solve a very simple question on this. Let's say there is a class, right? And we have to find the average of this class for the test that was taken. So the boys in the class, so there were 20 boys whose average marks was 20. But ये तो फिर median ही हो जाए. Okay, fine. I'll take it as 25. And let's say there were 30 girls and their average was 30. And we have to find the average marks of the class. So what you're gonna do? So you're gonna say, sir, let me find the sum of boys first. But rather than doing this, I'll always say, एक दो बार जब भी practice अभी zone में हो, ऐसा कर लेना. Average class is sum class, मतलब sum of class divided by total number of students in class. अगर ये लिख दिया, यहाँ आपका question 90% solve हो गया. That's it. Because अब आप बोलोगे sum of class is nothing, it's sum of boys, sum B plus sum of girls. And total of class, you will say is total of B. So I'm writing T as a shortcut and T of G. Now you don't have any trouble. You'll go back here to the data and you'll say sum of boys is nothing, it's the average of boys times total of boys, and that is like 25 into 20, and that is equals to 500. And for the sum of girls, you're gonna say average of girls times total of girls, which is like 30 into 30, and that will give you 900. All set, question khatam. Now you will say average class, you just have to put the values. So sum of boys are 500, sum of girls are 900, and total number of boys and girls will make total of the class. So that is like 20 and 30, which is 50. So I'll write 20 plus 30 here, so that in the next step we do 1400 divided by 50. So I can divide this 50. So this would be like 28. Simple. Job done. Simple. Right. There's a formula to it. W1 T1 into W2 T2 divided by T1 plus T2. Not necessary. You should understand what exactly it is. To make the sum, you have to multiply the average in total. Always remember this. So you, for one group, make the sum. For the group, make the sum. So let's say if there were 5 groups, you just make the 5 sum for all, add all. So that will give the sum for whole big broad group divided by total number of entities it has, right? Simple. So this is how we do the weighted average question, right? Fine. Tomorrow we're gonna learn range. Tomorrow we're gonna learn ranges, and tomorrow we're gonna learn standard deviation. What is this deviation exactly? How practical it is, and then normal distribution. And then you would go to the question set, of course, to solve the questions, right? This is where the stats holds. So yeah, that is it. So any question if you have, please ask me right now. Any question if you have, please ask me right now. Anyone has got any question? You have to go back to this particular record, but this was easy. I'm telling it to you. This is very easy concept. Tomorrow's concept would be a little bit tricky. Of course, that would be actually tricky. So that is wherein you have to be very, very attentive. And if there happens to be a doubt, then you guys have to ask it at the same moment so that you don't miss on the major part of it. But in today's session, I don't feel there is any such only 3 to 4 concepts. Sum over total, average, done. Harmonic, and those are okay. Median, central value, mode, repeated values. That's it. Anyone has got any doubt here? All right, then thank you so much. Let's connect back tomorrow, same time, for finishing off the statistics, right? Thank you.
sir.
Good night. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.